LDBC, this is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Boxing Show live. And let me tell you do something. Let me tell you do something right now, okay? I want to go ahead and say congratulations to Deontay Wilder, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and just break down the fight. I'm gonna start with Chris Arreola first, okay? Chris Arreola came in better shape than I'm used to seeing him come in, okay? He did. And even in the weigh-in, he didn't look quite as heavy as he normally does look, you know? He was still a little pudgy around the body. And but I can tell he was a bit more mobile this time around. He was a bit more mobile. His foot movement was a little bit better than he was in his last fight. I mean, all in all, I can tell that Chris Arreola actually did work hard for this particular fight. And, I thought he did well because it was a really quick turnaround because Wilder was going to fight Pavek, and then Arreola had to, get himself into a training camp to try to prepare for Wilder on short notice. So I thought Arreola did and looked well, considering it was short notice, okay? Um, he just couldn't keep up with that power, man. Like Deontay Wilder literally was playing with Chris Arreola. He was playing with him the whole night. Wilder, was kind of, trying to box with him a little bit, and he was kind of backing up, and Chris Arreola was just pursuing him the whole night. Chris Arreola was walking straight ahead, and Wilder was just popping him with the jab. He was putting that jab in Chris Arreola's face. Chris Arreola tried to charge him a couple of times. Chris Arreola was holding his head down. Just a lot of veteran tricks that Chris Arreola was trying to do. Chris Arreola did have some success in the fight, but he just couldn't maintain it because of the cardio and stamina issues that he had. And that's just how it is. But I started thinking to myself, I said, you know what? I wonder if Chris Arreola really was in tip-top shape. I think this fight would have been a lot closer because I did see some things in Deontay Wilder that I'll explain here in this video. Now, Wilder, he looked good. He was popping his jab. And now that we learned, he actually broke his hand in the fight. So he was really utilizing that left jab, and he was popping the crap out of that left jab, man. I mean, Wilder, you can tell that he was working on some stuff because he completely played with Arreola. He played with him, man. He played with him like silly putty. He just played with him. And he could have got him out, man. Deontay Wilder could have got Chris Arreola out early. He could have got him out in the 6th round if he really wanted to. But I just think Deontay Wilder wanted the fight to go on. He wanted to prolong the fight. And he was just working on his skill sets. He was circling Chris Arreola. He was popping Arreola with the jab. And then every now and then he hit Chris Arreola with a strong right hand. And I'm sorry, Chris couldn't take that right hand. He just couldn't take it. Wilder was playing with him. And I don't know if I'd be playing with a Chris Arreola because, see, even though Wilder really wasn't afraid of Chris Arreola hurting him, a guy like Chris Arreola could hurt you. And see, that's the thing, I don't know, man. That kind of bothered me a little bit. Like, how come you in there playing? And, I think Mark Breland should have kind of told him, look, man, you can't play with this dude. This dude is still a live dog. That's what I would have said as a trainer. I'd have been a little bit more vocal, like, look, man, sit your ass down. Why you in here, what you in here dancing and gyrating and all that stuff? Hey, man, this dude is a heavyweight. He 246 pounds of heavyweight, and one of those shots can knock you on your behind. See, that's what I would have told Wilder, man. And you can't do that. You ain't going to be able to do that against no Fury. You definitely ain't going to be playing around in there against no Anthony Joshua. And you darn sure ain't going to be doing that dancing, in there with Luis Ortiz. Okay? I just thought he kind of, I don't know, he took his focus off the fight because he was overlooking Arreola, And I don't think that a heavyweight should ever overlook the guy in front of him. It just shouldn't happen, okay? Deontay Wilder also did some other great things in the ring, He was being a bit more patient this fight, which I was impressed. Because normally, the old Deontay Wilder would just go right in and just try to decimate his opponent. He didn't do it in this fight. And, his footwork was a little more improved. I'm going to tell you, though, I still think that a very accurate puncher that's a pressure fighter with the chin, they're going to give him problems. They're going to give him some problems if, he's got to tighten up on that area when he's walking back, And he's going to have to learn how to, in the exchange, in the pocket, he's going to have to learn how to stay in the pocket. And he's going to have to learn how to slip punches in the pocket so he can set up that counter right hand. Okay? And he's going to have to start using his footwork to invite these guys in because most of the time, he's going to be the smaller heavyweight. So Deontay Wilder is going to have to use that footwork to invite these guys in and then to start setting these guys up with that right hand. Okay, he's gonna have to do that because these pressure fighters like Arreola, man, they keep coming straight ahead, or the guys like Duapaz, they keep coming straight ahead. See these guys, Arreola and Duapaz, they're not accurate punchers. They're not very, very accurate, solid punchers. So they're not gonna give them as much problems. Now you get a real live pressure fighter, maybe like an Anthony Joshua, that comes straight ahead, that's fast and a pressure fighter. You're gonna see Wilder have some problems unless he begins to slip those punches and start countering off of those punches. And Wilder also can benefit from doing some catch and shoot. He can do it because but one thing I was worried about though about Wilder, I was hoping that he would stop getting on the ropes. And later in the fight, he started to rotate off of the ropes and take it back to the center of the ring. And that's where I noticed that Deontay Wilder was the most dominant when he was in the center of the ring, man. I mean, folks, that's just how it is. Deontay Wilder toyed with Chris Arreola. He could have got him out a little earlier, but he just kind of chose not to do it. So you guys tell me what you think about this fight. Who should Wilder fight next? This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done.